let me introduce you to a man that has had that same dream. His name is Dan Runte, and he's the man behind the wheel of the truck that the whole world knows as Bigfoot. The monster truck driver, aggressive and daring, or just crazy. Dan Runte, the most aggressive, daring, and crazy of them all, has dominated all other drivers, standing atop of the sport since 1993. The 32-year-old native of Freeport, Illinois, handles the controls of Bigfoot 14 and is the latest in a long line of dominating drivers in the Bigfoot fleet.
As far as driving Bigfoot, it's one of the greatest trucks out. We all know that. I mean, the guys that work there, I wouldn't want to work on any other monster truck just because I know myself that it's the greatest team to work for.
Dan drove his Bigfoot 14 to back-to-back Pen-to-Point Series titles in 95 and 96, setting a record with 8 victories in both campaigns, and is also the winningest driver since the 93 season with 24 victories. But the road to that success was a long one. Dan had to pay his dues within the Bigfoot organization under Bob Chandler's tutelage.
As far as when Bob, actually let me drive or, decided that I was going to drive, it was neat, and I felt really great about it. Shortly after that, I did a tour with United Sports of America in Australia for 3 months. So as far as practice and learning, I couldn't ask for a better trip.
I picked Dan because first place, he's number one in the Pen-to-Point Series. He's the winningest driver in their series. He's won the last 2 years in a row. He's young. He's a very experienced driver because just watching him, he gets himself out of situations where another driver might have wrecked or roll over.
We get along pretty good. We're good friends. We're both farm boys. So, but when it comes to racing, we're very competitive, and we don't show any mercy with each other, but he's got a good team behind him. He's got the best that money can buy.
The decision to add Runte to the Bigfoot family has proven to be beneficial for both Dan and the Bigfoot team. The MTRA's Driver of the Year in 93 and 95 has enjoyed the success, but is determined and focused to keep the Bigfoot dynasty alive and kicking.
The truck's known number one. I mean, we try to keep it number one, and I couldn't ask for better.
Motor up, you want to run them just a little bit warm. A gas motor, you run cool, it builds more horsepower. Got to get these motors warm. It's cold outside. They've been inside for a while, but it still takes some time to warm them up. Runte out in front. Now let's see what happens. This is really close at this time. Very, very close. Now the turn. I believe Equalizer's in the lead.
Can you believe that?
Rattled the rafters. I think we have had an upset.
That is huge. Equalizer has put it to Bigfoot. And I guarantee you Dan Patrick got a big sigh of relief out of that.
Oh, no doubt about that. But here's the thing about it. They're going to be down tweaking it. They got to go again in just a few minutes. They definitely want to run third. They're going to have to come back and run the Virginia Giant.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, he got around the first corner good.
But he missed as far as the cars. If the truck goes over the cars, see how it lands with the side of it down. I think that hurt him. Then it comes off. It bounces a little bit. He can't get around the cars the way he would like to. Here's the finish. White pole in the middle. And what is that? Truck link he beat him?
He got smoked. This would be the, if you can believe it for Bigfoot, consolation race in the obstacle course portion. Now, Bigfoot can come out of this with a minimum of 30 points, a maximum of 40.
Needs the 40 points if he's going to go ahead and try to claim King of the Hill tonight.
Has to have it.
It really is, isn't it? Neil Wilson, on the other hand, has got other things on his mind.
Well, now, folks, to give you a good idea, I mean, the folks at Bigfoot came here loaded. They brought everybody with them from their shop, looking to dominate and win this event, locked themselves in with a bye in round number 1 in Indy. They won the King of the Hill title here tonight in Peoria big time.
I think, Ralph, maybe one of the things we need to look at, they hauled this truck up here today in the cold. A lot of the trucks were here and set inside and warmed up overnight. That may have been one of the things that the reason the truck didn't perform right off the bat the way we thought it would.
Well, he got a good jump. It's the turn first.
Neil Wilson's picking up the left front tire. His truck absolutely will not slide, but look at this. He's around the corner.
40 points for Bigfoot, and that was crucial to their efforts to making themselves king of the hill here tonight at Peoria.
That was the only thing left that they could do, Ralph. They actually was in a situation where they had to win that round.
Here's a look at him getting over the turn.
See what Runte's done when the truck came off of that set of tires. The rear tires were turned, the front tires were turned. He actually had the truck set up to finish the race when he came off that set of cars.
Yes, Mike, we got a bit of a smoking problem going on here.
No, I think that's just a little, it's heat that's coming out of the engine. They've got tubes that come out of the valve covers and run down to the back. It's just a little steam coming out of it. He's not in any trouble.
That's the back of the equalizer you were looking at. Here we go.
Oh.
Bigfoot, I think, huh?
I don't know.
Boy, that was close.
It was so close. Both the trucks about the same out.
We got the word. It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Wow. Oh, boy. Now, if Bigfoot can go on and win the drag racing portion of this thing, we're going to have a tie. Look at this.
Well, Foot picks the front end up, and here again, I think we may be into this loose lane, that far side.
Well, I got to agree with you, Mike, because Equalizer was right there with him, and had he had just a hair better lead, it might have gone the other way. I think that lane is coming apart. That can make a big difference now in who gets which lane in the final here between Bigfoot and
Ralph,
Johnson.
he does it the hard way.
Boy, Bigfoot came here looking to win King of the Hill and get that bye. If he can win this drag race against the Virginia Giant, two Fords going at it, Bigfoot will get that bye. So important when we make our way to Indianapolis. The Giant has a good shot of knocking him off, though, but he's got the lane that's not as good right now.
Well, Ralph, during break, a few moments ago, they brought out a big Caterpillar, packed that down and worked that starting line just a little bit. That may be something that is really showing up now. There may be a little more traction over there than originally planned.
Well, we can't count the Giant out because he did knock off the Equalizer, and we said going into this was a great leaving truck.
Dale Wilson's a good driver. He is quick on the line.
It's Foot.
That didn't take long.
It's Foot. Bigfoot gets the win. Bigfoot will be crowned King of the Hill. They came here looking to do that, and they have accomplished their goal. It was a little bit tougher for them than they expected, but Bigfoot will get a bye at Indianapolis.
Well, that's why you've got to perform well in both classes to win it. Bigfoot did well in the drag racing. It didn't do well in the obstacle course. That doesn't make any difference. What makes a difference is he's setting with 100 points.
I'll tell you what, Bigfoot came out and won the drag racing in classic Bigfoot fashion. Well, there's Bigfoot. Which one do we have tonight? There have been, what, 14 of these built so far?
And this is number 14, Dan Runte. 572 aluminum Ford, sets in the back of it. These trucks were designed on Bob Chandler's computer. And I saw the first one come out years ago, and I just thought the man was unbelievable. He had a computer that he laid all this out, and it ran through there and would see if it would work. And when it did work, he said, I'm going to build one just like that. And you know what? It really does work well.
It really, it does. And if you just think about it in your mind, you kind of think, well, it doesn't really make sense. How is this thing going to actually fly? And then that is literally what they do. They fly through the air. That, of course, is Bigfoot behind it. With Dan Bulldozer, he's got 1,400 horsepower, and he's steering straight at a wall.
10,000-pound truck. See what happened to him? He's in trouble. Big trouble when he got on his hard and on the starting line.
Oh, he's up on two wheels. He's not careful. Patrick's going to get lapped. Boy, he's really struggling, Mike.
Well, and he did just exactly what I thought he wouldn't do. And when the flag dropped, he just nailed it. It launched him over that single car, sending him towards the wall much too far to make the swing. Dan Runte in the other lane just eased it around.
Watch it again.
Watch what happens when he comes over here in this area to land. Now he's completely out of shape to run this set of cars. Gets it up on two wheels right there. Now he's going over with the wheels caught, and he's off on this side right here. bicycles it, barely gets it around to line it up. By that time, it's too late as Bigfoot crosses the finish line right there. All right, so be it.
I'm going with the bull.
We shall see if you don't get the horn.
I'll still cheer him even if I do.
Well, I know you will, and that's what makes me proud of you, Ralph.
Okay. Well, they're going to move those two competitors into position. I think it's safe to say the Bigfoot truck is a more up-to-date technology-wise design than is the bull. So
both of these trucks surprisingly look great on the ground. The suspension's perfect on it. And they are absolutely even at this portion of the part of the race. Oh, he's in trouble. That cost him at that point.
wow, there was stuff flying all over the place. We're still waiting to get the official word on that one. I'm still not sure who picked this one off.
Looked good on that set of cars. There wasn't a problem, but watch when he comes over this set of cars. He gets out of shape. You're not going to see it at that portion. The Bigfoot is in line, gets all the tires, everything over the cars. I think that the bulldozer truck got a little bit off to one side.
Well, first they gave it to Bulldozer, then they said Bigfoot. We're waiting for the official, and Bigfoot it is.
In the original run when they ran earlier, you have to keep at least two of the tires on the track.
And that was the case. So let's go down to Fred. Fred?
Dan Runte and Bigfoot, winner of the obstacle course. How was it?
It was rough. I mean, it's a rough track to drive. We're used to running over cars on both sides. They got cars on both sides in the end here too, so it makes it a little tougher. It's something you got to negotiate with all the way around the track. Ford Bigfoot pulled it out, Firestone tires. We're back again.
How will that affect the drag race?
We'll be ready for the drag race. Truck's running real well, thanks to Mac Tools, and we'll just see how it turns out.
Great. Dan Runte.
I think we can very easily see skip run number one, and that can be very important as far as making your way through the program in Indianapolis, claiming the big prize.
I like it. This is going to be good. That is the eye of the bull.
That's the system you were talking about.
Exactly. And it's really a super fail-safe system. It works extremely well.
If you're wondering what all the white is in front of the jumps, it's flour. They put the flour down there to give the drivers an idea of where the ramps are to the jumps.
I think that's a really neat idea. Outside they're doing that, but it's much heavier. It's called snow.
It's just old baking flour. Oh, Bulldozer left him.
We will have to check to see what exactly happened on that. Dan Runte very seldom gets left.
He might have had a problem.
All right, let's watch the starter's right here. Let's see what happened. No, he leaves.
Dan just got left at the line.
He took a nap. I really think that's what happened. I mean, to me, that looked like a absolutely picture-perfect run. We had a good shot there. We had the flagman. The truck never moved until the flagman raised the flag, and when it did, your bull was on top instantly.
Getting ready to take off now. This, of course, is Dan Runte, who's going to run the Bigfoot. It's a 1997 Ford F-150, 570 cubes underneath, and 1,500 horsepower it'll go.
In the back, all aluminum motor. This is another Gary Saline tuned engine. They've ran this course quite a few times in this part of the country. And what they're going to do, they set the truck up with the pill. They changed the pill in it before it got here. A lot of the guys wait till they got here. There's a good shot of Dan. This guy is so intent. He has a great time around the track, and when he steps inside that truck, you've heard this before, he's the man. You're going to let the truck settle just a little bit in the middle. Then you'll go hard on the throttle to clear the second car. Let it coast a little bit around the curve, and then hard shot it down for the other car.
And they get a good start, and now Bulldozer, Bigfoot actually looks a little bit further ahead. He catches a pole, though. Here goes the Bulldozer over the last set. And Bigfoot is going to go across first at that point, but now as they come to the finish, Bulldozer's going to charge it. Very close, and it does look like Bigfoot, but he clouded that pole pretty good.
Well, we're going to have to get an official ruling on that, but it was a good race. I think both of the guys were a little bit more out of control than you would normally see them, whether that's setting in the truck, or for a long period of time, or what it is. I just don't think the guys were
And
smooth.
see the finish of the race.
Very close, and I mean just tremendously close.
Bigfoot at the line, it looks like, Mike, but again, we're going to have to check out. See that pole lying to the left of the screen there? That was
racing against Dan Runte. Also, in the second breath, he wants to win.
He's got him, though, at the first turn. It is Hartley. He has got the lead across the first set of cars. It is still Snakebite. Mike, he's doing it.
You're going to have to hold on.
Huge upset. Sky Hartley and the Snakebite have just beaten Bigfoot and Dan Runte. A great run for the Snakebite. Fantastic.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. The kid did everything right. Nothing wrong. Great steering on the back of it. And this, let's take a look at him as he's going to come. This is his expertise. He is very strong on this.
Man, you tell me, very close.
Shutoff was close.
And they almost headed out the exits there, and I could not call that one. That was such a good takeoff for both of them. They both got great traction off of the line. Mike, we're going to take another look. Good jump coming off, and guess what?
I believe it was.
Yep, going to be Bigfoot.
Watch this area right in here.
Coming to a stop. Oh!
When he gets to that real soft sand, just the fluff coming off the track, it's almost impossible to start one of these things.
Now, they got the brakes going on him to stop him, but they got the horsepower to put him down, and here is the start of the race.
Watch the transfer. Now, the finish line, both of them airborne. Here's the finish line.
Man, that is tough to call. Our angles are so different there. This one looked almost like a tie, but they've given it to Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is the winner, and a beautiful job for Dan. He's going to be tough. Now, this Ford runs good when it leaves the starting line good, and it
pull him up there and head off.
Gene Patterson at one time was a Bigfoot driver. He had not been in this truck until last weekend, been a year and a half out of the truck. And last weekend he stepped in, and this weekend he's back racing.
Drivers ready, green flag, here they go. Bigfoot, a great jump. Samson, a nice ride there. But it's going to be Bigfoot. He crossed it first.
It's the low-end horsepower of the Ford. It's the quickness at the flag. These guys have done it time after time again, and they're awesome.
That was a nice run by Gene Patterson, who's in Dan Patrick's truck, and I think he really collected himself, like you said, probably did some work down there and got this thing quite a bit better torqued up for the semifinal here.
Now you got Bigfoot, and you got the Bull. That's going to be a great final race. Bigfoot really left good. He got a little air, and the truck actually can move forward in the air. And I think that's probably what he did. He took Patterson just a little bit in the air.
And also flagman Jim Harbaugh. Getting the thumbs up and ready to go. There it is. You call that one, because that was tight.
Well, I'm going to call that a very good race.
I think they're giving it to Bigfoot. I believe, actually, the Dozer. They are saying Dozer took that by a nose ring.
By a nose ring. Good job.
And look at Guy Wood. Is he happy? He has beaten Dan Runte in the Bigfoot.
Well, they're going to need to get the calculators out to figure this king of the hill.
But, folks, see if you can see. This was close.
Well, he leads. The Bull leads.
Man, oh man, oh man. I wonder if we'll be able to get that second angle, because earlier we saw that showed a little bit different side of things.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is.
Well, I tell you what, I've got Dan Runte down here, and Dan, the points have been added up and all counted up. It's the king of the hill for the Bigfoot. I tell you what, consistency made it all work.
Yeah, you know, we come out and we try hard every time with Bigfoot Ford. A lot of good people behind us, a lot of good guys at the shop. We owe them all the thanks. I mean, you can't come out here and do this by yourself.
Well, I tell you what, it seemed like in the obstacle course, when you had the snake bite, he just got you on a little turn. It looked like the Bulldozer got you a little, but you were consistent second at both ends.
Yeah, you know, you got to be consistent with this group of trucks. I mean, USA puts a good show on, and it's a tough field.
Well, I tell you what, the Bigfoot. The foot is always one to be feared. And tonight, you were king of the hill one more time.
We'll be back again, I'm sure.
All right, back up to you guys. Mike, he knows what he's doing.
He does.
The most intimidating, the foot.
Big blue truck out of St. Louis, Missouri. I don't care what you say or how you say it. He is the top running truck anywhere you want to go. They come prepared. They're ready. Dan Runte, great driver. These people are always on the verge of going all the way.
Well, the hammer is cocked. They're ready to go. We're fixing to get this one started. Here comes the Dragon Slayer. He leaps it up, but look at the foot as he spins it around the corner and sets up for the cars one more time. He is only closing in on the Dragon Slayer as Runte's doing a tremendous job. Squares back the corner. Dragon Slayer on the post, and it was the foot.
Bigfoot probably a truck length from the drop of the green flag. When they drop the green flag, that truck, it didn't leave the starting line. It just leapt off the starting line. I mean, instant power from that starting line.
Okay. This is Bob and Marilyn Chandler's truck out of Hazelwood, Illinois. Bigfoot, well, it's a legend. If a truck can be a legend, this is a legend. But the story in this truck is the young man sitting behind the wheel. Dan Runte started back in he's been in the sport for quite a while. He started out doing some truck pulling, helping a gentleman tour with the truck, then went to work with Chandler. A few years later, he stepped into the driver's seat. This is probably number 14. There is Dan on the inside. There's so many integral parts to this truck that are sitting in there. He has a remote control kill on the truck. These trucks will come to the starting line. You'll think the motors have died. The stage, it will be, Walt, a great race.
Minimum weight, 10,000 pounds, 5 tons apiece.
5 tons apiece are about let's race them.
And it looks like Snake might got the jump on him, but it looks like he picked it right up on the wheels as here they come across. It's very close.
They're dead heat right now. They are absolutely dead. The line
looks like...
oh, listen.
I'm not going to call that one. It was too close for me to call.
Doesn't say official on my shirt either. I tell you
Not
what.
one spot.
They were just absolutely looked like they crossed the line at the same time. That's how close these two trucks are. Let's take a look at the replay. Here's Foot. He gets it up on 2 wheels just a little bit. Picks up the left one. That right one's just barely on the ground, or the left rear. Now he's on the throttle. Let's see if I can... It's from my vantage point, and I'm not the official, but it looked like the blue truck.
Yeah, just by a fraction. A fraction at the very least, and that's as close to a photo finish. You saw it, the Executioner and the smoke truck. Yeah, it was Bigfoot by just a hair.
Is on. It's good. It's ready to go. But that Executioner truck is really awesome tonight. The man with the mark on his mind is Mark Hall. He would like nothing better
than to take down the Bigfoot.
Take out the blue truck.
And get on his way to that road to Indianapolis.
Well, he's got a good shot at it. Now, this is the first portion of a 2-segment King of the Hill race.
Yeah.
The points are on the line. There's a 10-point difference. They add them together at the end of the evening. That's your King of the Hill. Here's the staging. There's Dan Runte, and he's ready to ride. Thumbs up.
Here they go.
It's close right now. Watch him go to work. The Executioner up on 2 wheels. Bigfoot in the lead. Bigfoot's there right this moment. The Halls have got to really get on the throttle. He's in trouble. It is Bigfoot.
Oh, look out, look out. Oh, Bigfoot just took her over and just destroyed it. He was in trouble trying to outrun the blue truck, and Mark Hall just took it over. He gave it just all there was to give.
Well, they're over there checking on him right this moment. These trucks are not made to turn over, but they are made for the safety's sake if one of them's going to go over. And there are times, we just saw him do it. He's out of shape just a little bit here when he gets around this corner, but he's hard on the throttle. He wants to win this thing. See, he's going at it. Now he's over in trouble. He didn't make it around, and it's a roll over the cars. It's going to be a tough roll on that truck because he went on top of the car that you see laying over there. Didn't go all the way over, kind of slid off to the side. They're working, getting him out of the truck. I would doubt very seriously there's any problem. There's the big blue truck from St. Louis. The lights that are on at this time, the red light inside, tells the operator of the remote control that the truck is ready. Everything is on switch. The remote control kill is ready to be functional.
They shut the truck down, bring it to the staging area. Now you're going to bring in the Dragon Slayer. He'll ease it in here again, trying to build a little heat. It's cooler outside. Temperature has not got a lot to do with it tonight. The Dragon Slayer into the starting line easy. This should be quite a race. Let's see how this comes about.
3 years of experience versus 20. And look at the Bigfoot. Oh, he just got her on and on the brakes hard. I tell you what, 20 years of experience versus a good, strong, solid 3 years in racing. It was the Bigfoot just pouring it on.
That truck really showed what it can do. Watch the front tires. Watch him pick the front end of this truck completely up. Truck is airborne in the front. See that? The tires never touch the ground until he finishes the race. That's how much horsepower. Look at this. Front end up in the air. He's carrying the front tires all the way across. At the finish line, he sets them down. He's a truck length.
Yeah, full
ahead.
truck length ahead. Now, on the braking of this, I was looking at these trucks earlier today. The brakes aren't on the wheels and
Check
tires.
on that line. Bigfoot, snake bite. Trust me, these guys are going to let it all go. Bigfoot will cinch King of the Hill. Snake bite can take this thing away. This is going to be one great race. Trust me, these guys are both lightning fast. Dan Runte is as quick off the starting line as I've ever seen in a monster truck. This guy is truly awesome. This young man sitting on the snake bite truck, Dave Byers, he's coming of his own right now. Let's see the crowd behind him 100%. They pull into stage. They backing snake bite up just a little bit. Now they're putting some heat in the motors.
And like you said, these alcohol-burning motors, you put some heat in them, that makes them produce more horsepower.
A little bit of a sight job. They hold back. Now you come into stage. Bigfoot on the line.
Front engine in the snake bite, rear mid-engine in the Bigfoot.
Snake bite now pulls into stage. This is going to be truly reaction time. When the green falls, you better go for it. You better be there before it hits the ground.
Ho, ho. And it was close. But it was the Bigfoot by just an edge as Runte just came off the line and just hammered it. Just had that snap instantaneous.
Watch it. He just maybe a half a fender.
Yeah.
Just a half a fender in the lead. But you know what? That's good as 10 miles.
Yep. An inch is as good as a mile. Close counts in horseshoes and hand grenades and drag racing, I can tell you that.
That was Dan, winner of that.
I remember another drag racer had those lightning reflexes too.
A pair of Fords. There's the light that says we're on go. Julie will inch it. The last little bit. Little petite lady driving a big back.
Oh, but it was the big horsepower of the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot Ford that did it right there.
Dan did a dynamite job. Left with it. Kept the throttle on it. The truck picked off. It was beautiful. Watch the front end come up. Front end come up. The tires. The truck is in the air. When he lands, it is all over but the shouting. The big blue truck from Hazelwood, Missouri, property of Bob and Marilyn Chandler. Strike another one for Bigfoot.
And here they go again, side by side. They left nearly identically, but it was that big, giant horsepower and that well-designed and well-built truck, the Bigfoot. And I tell you what, he left it and took her right down the line. Both the trucks sitting side by side. I tell you what, the racing here at Mid-South Coliseum, when we came in there this evening, I looked at these small confines. I went, oh, this is not going to be a great place to race. But it has turned out to be a tremendous place to race.
Boy, we have seen some absolutely fabulous competition. There's Dan. That young man is just, he's awesome. He's good. He's quick. He works well. There's Julie. They're both right there side to side. They got to be two happy monster truck racers.
And let's go down there. Our man on the floor, Fred Bartson. Fred's down there with the two top winners.
Yeah, I got him right here with the two finalists. Dan Runte, you're on top again. Bigfoot, outstanding.
Bigfoot did a good job for us here tonight. You know, we got a lot of people to thank. USA's doing a neat deal here, putting this racing thing together, and got a tough woman here too.
What was the key to the run?
Actually, like I said a little earlier, you know, it's just go out there, cut a good hole shot, hope everything works on the truck, because it's going to have to in this short a distance, or somebody like her will sneak up on you.
Right. Julia, how'd you feel about the final?
Pardon me?
How'd you run in the final?
It ran great. I knew Dan was quick on the line. I was just waiting for the green light to go and just nail it.
That's a great run, a very exciting final, and back up to you, Walt.
Well, I tell you what, the king of the hill with his ticket to Indy is the Bigfoot. As they just did a tremendous job, and I tell you what.
We got to talk about the monster trucks. Mike, can anybody beat Bigfoot?
It will be very difficult. Bob Chandler's on hand tonight, the owner of Bigfoot, and that puts a little bit more pressure on Dan Runte. He doesn't need it. He's a professional in every sense of the word. A lot of trucks are here, though. We've got a good many trucks that can win this thing. You got to think that Bigfoot is a favorite, though.
There is no more legendary truck in the business of monster trucks than Bigfoot. He's going to be tough to beat. Machines around the world. This is by far one of the most famous in all forms of racing. I mean, there are just certain things that you can show a picture of it just about anywhere in the world, and people would say, yep, that is Bigfoot, and this is a truck that really, when you talk about monster trucks, this is the granddaddy of them all.
When you go up to a young person that's looking at a truck, doesn't make any difference who it is, and you say, what is that? They'll say, that's a Bigfoot truck.
That's right. That's Dan Runte, as we've got an onboard camera with him.
Nice looking helmet.
We're going to get to go for a ride with Bigfoot. That's what it looks like from Dan's perspective. You are up there, too.
Yeah, definitely. Big Ford motor in the back of it. Floating a motor before he went to warm it up this afternoon. It kicked the rods out of it. And that put David Morris into this round against Bigfoot. Boy, would this be an upset. And it is close. Now, Morris is excellent on turns. He is so good on turns. Look at Dan Runte. You're riding with the big blue.
Boy, he's spectacular on the turns. Wow.
Not wanting to stop, but it does. Dan Runte beat him on the turn.
On the second turn, because the first turn went to equalizer.
Yes, the second turn, Runte was in trouble. He was behind at that point. Now, look at this. Equalizer is in the lead when he makes it around that pole. But look at Runte. Picks the left front tire up, cuts it so close, he comes out. A truck in the lead. Equalizer picks up a half a truck. It's too late.
Poor Equalizer went into that turn thinking he had an upset in the making and came out of the turn to find himself sitting in second, the loser.
Yeah, he's like riding home for 10 and getting 20. He thought he had that thing won.
What was that again?
Riding home for 10 and getting 20.
Here's the finish from on board. Here's how you win a monster truck race.
Hard on the throttle this turn. Look at him work that, and he's also cutting the rear tires. Now handle it. Oh, beautiful.
You know, I think that's the best shot we've seen. You really don't even know where the jumps are because you're up so high.
Yeah, Bigfoot beat him. He came back as fast loser, so it's a rematch. Equalizer gets around the course extremely well. He had a couple of little rough points in that first round. Maybe he got it all corrected for this round. But you got to think that Bigfoot, Dan Runte, has, maybe he's worrying about Sky. You need to worry about the equalizer first.
That's a very good point. Andy on board with Dan. High up above the arena floor inside Bigfoot.
Not too often you get to go to the office with someone. But he is sitting in the office. Bigfoot covers him about a half fender length. Equalizer working on him. Equalizer knows what he has to do on this turn, though. Picks the left front up. This is going to be good.
How about that for an upset?
That young man went to school on his last race.
He sure did.
I like to see someone that figures out where they made their mistakes and corrects them. He did it.
And Bigfoot is not going to the finals of the obstacle course. And when it comes to the King of the Hill, that's going to hurt him.
Bigfoot leaves. He's off about a fender. Now Equalizer comes and makes a great turn. Dave has done so well on these driving courses. Now he's going to stretch the lead out a little bit. Watch him pick this left front tire up off the ground on the left front tire and zings it to the finish line. What's that, a half a truck?
And here's the in-car with Bigfoot.
Oh, and that's not a pretty sight when you see him in front of you like that.
And Dave Burns, we got a big upset.
Maybe, as David Morris is surprised for winning that because he had what tonight.
No, I haven't seen a bad lane yet, really.
recently, right, and we saw Bulldozer pull the front end up and run well in the far lane. We've seen Snakebite do it twice. Could you tell?
I think it was foot. Equalizer looked like he got off the line great, but I don't think he left him at the line like we thought he needed to.
Didn't leave him at the line.
Foot gets the win, we're told. So Bigfoot stays alive for now. And, you know, as you said earlier, Bob Chandler here tonight. A lot of pressure on this team to perform here on national television.
Look at the Equalizer truck come on at the finish line. He does. Beats him, not much, but he comes on real good. Let's watch this side to side. Look how the truck picks the front end up. Dan not fighting the steering wheel. It's really a cakewalk for that man.
Well, there's a look at the ladder.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I noticed was Bigfoot launches a lot higher with the nose than does Equalizer.
And that's the shocks. The coilovers on Equalizers won't let the front end come up as quick as the Bigfoot truck does.
Does it make a difference as they launch off the cars?
Yeah, it'll make a difference in the attitude of the truck when it goes across the finish line. Bigfoot beats Equalizer in the first round of the obstacle course. Equalizer came back fast loser and beat Bigfoot. Let's see if the same thing happens this time.
Equalizer read the flag beautifully, Mike, and Bigfoot goes down again.
This is very, very close. This start was so close.
Oh, watch this. I think Equalizer won this, Mike.
He read the flag.
Sure he did.
Took him to school again, Ralph. We talked about this earlier.
Watch this out of Dan Runte's view.
Watch on the right-hand side of your screen and see if you see the Equalizer. You never see that truck. That's how close they were.
Oh, boy. Here we go.